Hello everyone, my name is Kaylee Willis and today I will be presenting you differentiated instruction by product. So as you can see here, differentiation is a teacher's proactive response to learner needs shaped by mindset. So with differentiation, you're teaching the same material to every student in the classroom, but with multiple instructional strategies or given in different levels of difficulty based on all of the different students' abilities. And teachers can differentiate through a few different channels, but today, like I said, we'll be focusing on differentiating products. So, products are how students show their learning. They're the items that invite the student to rehearse, apply, and extend what he or she has learned in a unit. So, essentially, the teacher is assessing the same skill or concept for all students, but they're just offered different ways of demonstrating their knowledge, be it through visual, auditory, kinesthetic, analytic, creative, or practical applications, or any mixture of these. So, differentiating products allow students to design products around essential learning goals. You can encourage students to express what they've learned in whatever way they want. You can provide assignments at different levels of difficulty to match student readiness and develop rubrics with students that demonstrate classroom and individual goals. So let's refer back to that first slide. We know that differentiation is making modifications according to student needs, and this is planned by taking three things into account, and that is students' readiness, interests, and learning profiles. So planning product differentiation based on student readiness forces us to stop asking, what can the student do, and instead ask, what does the student need to do in order to succeed? An assessment in student success in a differentiated classroom, Tomlinson and Moon said, a student's actual ability is much like an iceberg, only a small portion of it is visible, and much more lies beyond our view. So basically, she's saying we tend to make a mistake whenever we classify students according to what we perceive to be their ability. We can't rely on our own perceptions of their ability. We have to make assessments and see where the students actually are in terms of readiness. And once we do that, a great way to differentiate product based on readiness is with tiered products. So here you see Carol Tomlinson's equalizer chart that shows different layers of complexity in lessons that teachers can tier or layer. And this will make more sense in just a couple of slides when I show y'all an example. So it's important not to think of these levels on a continuum of high ability to low ability, but that's what Carol Tomlinson said, but rather each level simply represents the reality of what a student currently needs in order to do his or her best. So when creating tiered assignments, it's important to establish clear learning targets. All students are working towards the same goal since you're assessing the same concept for every student, so it's important that the tiered products be designed with the same core learning targets in mind. And it's also important to introduce every task with the same level of enthusiasm and interest, and make sure that all students are equally involved and active. A way you could do this is to make sure all activities are interesting. Definitely don't make one activity easier or harder than the others. And for more on tiered products, you can click there. I attached the link. So let's go ahead and see an example. This prompt is kind of the standard for the class. So write a 5 to 6 paragraph argumentative essay responding to the following prompt. What should Puerto Rico's relationship with the U.S. be? A state, a territory, an enhanced commonwealth, or an independent nation? And then you see the rubric right here. So here's tier 2. Accommodations have been made and the prompt was adjusted for those who need it. So the same essential concept is being enforced, but the complexity of the activity is brought down to a level that some students may need so that they have a fair shot at succeeding. And with this, the students may be even given a template to fill out to help them write the essay. And here's the rubric for students to self-assess. And of course, another great way for students to self-assess before they turn in their completed essay is with a checklist. It ensures that their essay meets the technical standards that I've set, like length, structure, grammar, and of course the content that I'm requiring of them so that they know exactly what is expected of them. So now we move on to planning product differentiation based on student interests. So students and every person in general, they're just more invested in things that interest them, obviously. So when students are interested in what they're learning, learning is more satisfying and they're motivated to learn. And differentiating assignments to where they align with the student's real life interests will keep them engaged. And a good way to do this is with Think-Tac-Toe, and this video gives a great rundown of this assessment.
Hi, I'm Alex from Teach Like This, and this is Think-Tac-Toe. The Think-Tac-Toe strategy is a different way to assess students, one that allows them to pick how they want to be assessed. It's an effective way to empower students through product choice. It's a great way to differentiate learning, and it allows you to assess multiple intelligences. When a unit of study ends, it usually follows with a summative assessment. Students usually aren't given the option on how they are going to be assessed. This strategy changes that by providing 9 options for students to do in order to be assessed. Those 9 assessments are listed in a grid similar to a tic-tac-toe board. Students get to pick 3 assessments that they want to do and will form a line in tic-tac-toe. How you break down the variety of assessments is up to you. You might make all reading assignments in one column, all writing assignments in another column, and all drawing assignments in a third column. Students that are really strong in one of those areas would go down the column and complete all the assessments. Or students might go across or diagonally to complete the Think-Tac-Toe. Additionally, if you want a reading, writing, and drawing activity from each student, you can require that they can't go up and down. Furthermore, if there's one assignment that you absolutely need them to do, make that the center square and require them to do that. Here are some examples from the Think-Tac-Toe from other teachers. The Think-Tac-Toe summative assessment strategy is a great way to provide flexibility and choice in the curriculum and increase student buy-in. That's all for this video. If you liked it, check out a couple of our other ones. Also, you can connect with me on Twitter, by email, or by commenting down below, and subscribe to get weekly strategies in your newsfeed. I'm Alex, and that's Teach Like This.
Alright, so like Alex said, the students will receive a 3x3 table and they have to choose 3 tasks in a row just like you would with tic-tac-toe. And this example is one that would be used in an ELA class teaching Romeo and Juliet. So this really allows students to take control of how they show what they've learned, but in a controlled environment. And of course, these can be differentiated even further by making multiple Think-Tac-Toe graphs for students who subscribe to different learning preferences like visual, auditory, kinesthetic, analytic, creative, practical applications, all those things that I mentioned at the beginning of this lesson. And again, a checklist will help the students assess themselves and their progress. And as you can see, this one is very simple, but it's so helpful because the students know exactly what is expected of them. So now we move to differentiating product with learning profiles, which creates even more new ways for students to show their knowledge about the content, and it's shaped by a few factors, which is learning style, gender, culture, and intelligence preference. So knowing these things about your students allows you to uncover their learning profiles so that the process is as efficient and effective as possible for them. And a fun and creative way to differentiate this way is with Raft. It's an activity that requires students to do a little bit of creative writing from different viewpoints, and it helps reinforce writing skills and creativity. Writing skills like audience, main idea, and organization. So Raft stands for role, audience, format, and topic. R, the role of the writer. So what persona is the student taking on while they write? Is the student supposed to be a famous literary character, a store owner, a reporter, a bug, a tree? A is for audience. Who or what is this person or thing writing to? Is it their teacher, the public? F is for format. So is it a diary entry? Is it a poem, a speech, an advertisement? And then finally, T is topic. What are they writing about? And right here you can see plenty of examples for multiple subjects, and the students will be given 3 of each category to choose from. So 3 roles, 3 audiences, 3 formats, and 3 topics. And this allows students to creatively express their content knowledge in a way that makes sense and is efficient for them. And sometimes you can assign the role, the audience, the format, and the topic, or you can allow the students to choose their own. And here's a rubric for student assessment that checks on their word choice, mechanics, time management, all kinds of things, and of course the specific components of Raft. So, to wrap it all up, a good product causes students to rethink what they've learned, apply what they can do, extend their understanding and skill, and become involved in both critical and creative thinking. So, differentiating products is a great way to accommodate every student and give them every possible opportunity for success. So, I hope this was helpful, and I thank you for watching.